become the champion as an individual, and then you become the leader and you throw it down and you win the game.
Lead is 13 on the stuff from Bay.
Huge victory for the Buffaloes. Throw them a big bale of grass. Tad Boyle, happy as can be. First win in seemingly my lifetime.
7 tries.
That was a great celebration for the Colorado men's basketball team as they get a road win of the Pac-12, knocking off Arizona State down in Tempe for the first time in 7 games, winning it by 7 points. Hi, everybody. Voice of the Boss, Mark Johnson. Welcome into the Buffalo Stampede. This is the guy they were all jumping on, Anthony Coleman, assistant coach for the Buffs basketball program. AC had been an assistant down at Arizona State, so you must have been the good luck charm then on Thursday night last week, huh?
You know what? No, I think it was just our guys. The preparation that Coach Boyle and the rest of the staff has put those guys through, just getting them mentally prepared and physically prepared to go out and try to win the basketball
A weird
game.
Situation for you. He did the scout, by the way, for the game. You know those guys. You help recruit those guys. So that's a strange transition for you, I'd imagine.
You know what? The game in China was a little bit stranger than this game was. It was good getting back there, seeing some old familiar faces, but once the ball goes up, we're playing basketball. We're trying to get wins.
It was not necessarily the best start for the Buffaloes. Buffs fall behind early in that one, but I thought it was really kind of a gutsy kind of performance by Colorado against the Sun Devils.
We knew that Arizona State, that they're going to be charged up and ready to come play against us, top 20 in the country. They have a lot to play for, nothing to really lose. And they came out hot, made some shots, but then we settled ourselves down, manufactured some points, and then we got back to doing what we do best, is playing defense.
So the Buffaloes 2-0 against ASU. As you mentioned, they open up the season November 8th with a victory in China over ASU. What changes from one game to – I mean, that was a lifetime ago from a basketball standpoint. Very different teams the second time around, right?
Well, they were without the first game, they were without the 2 starting bigs and Romello White and Tayshaun Cherry. So they bring a different dynamic, and our coverages changed a little bit. But for the most part, again, Coach Boyle, he always talks about our defensive principles. We hold strong to that, and again, that came into play and helped us win the basketball game.
When you're doing the scout for a game, like assistant coaches, every coach is going to do some scouts throughout the year. Do you feel extra pressure during a game, knowing this is the game plan that you laid out for the guys?
You know what? You feel pressure in all games, but for these games, when it is your scout, there is a sense of additional pressure because, again, you put in so much additional time in trying to figure out every little nuance that this team may throw at you. And again, with ASU, I'm trying to climb into the brain of Bobby Hurley and see if I can get you trying to figure that thing out. But no, again, we just want to win games, and we're happy after every win.
Well, the Buffaloes certainly did that in a victory last Thursday night over Arizona State. We'll talk about the back half of that road trip in just a moment. But a former Buff has become a pro. How about CU Soccer's Taylor Kornieck?
With the 3rd pick in the first round of the 2020 NWSL College Draft, the Orlando Pride select Taylor Kornieck.
I just want to start off by saying I'm so humbled to be here. I just want to thank the NWSL for creating such an incredible league for all of us to play in. I want to thank my family, my mom, my dad, and my brother, standing over there right now. Love you guys so much. I want to thank my coaches, Danny, Jason, and Dave, and Kelly, my teammates, and everybody at the University of Colorado for everything they've done for me, for allowing me to become the person and the player that I am today. And I want to thank the Orlando Pride organization for drafting me and allowing me to live out my dream as a professional soccer player.
Well, congratulations to one of the great Buff soccer players of all time, Taylor Kornieck, becoming a professional now, playing at that level. As we continue here with AC for the men's basketball team. Buffs get the victory on Thursday night as they knock off Arizona State, looking for the sweep. That had been a very tough swing for Colorado in the Pac-12. In fact, they'd been 1 of 13 prior to this trip. Now, getting down to Arizona, down to Tucson, you know what that atmosphere is like down there, how tough it can be and overwhelming it can be at times. Buffs got off to a decent start, up 10-5, in fact, at one point. Then things got away from Colorado. Can we talk a little bit about that first half of that game?
First half of that game, again, going to McKale Center is extremely difficult, arguably the best home court advantage in the Pac-12. And we got off to a fairly decent start and started knocking down shots. But then we kind of got away from ourselves and doing the things that we discussed in our shoot-around and our game day preparation. Guys weren't strong with the basketball. Then they started getting leak-outs and dunks and threes, and then it became a slippery slope.
That's really kind of a key in a place like that. You can, I guess, say the same thing about Allen Fieldhouse here a few weeks ago. When that crowd gets going and the momentum gets against you, and you get those live ball turnovers that go the other way, and then the transition, and it just kind of builds upon itself. And it's tough to stop if you're the road team.
It is tough to stop, but we have to figure out a way to create those stops and get multiple stops, because, again, they score one time, the crowd's going to get into it. Now they have an additional person, almost like a sixth man, and it gets deafening in there. We can't fracture. We have to stay together, be a fist, and then come down and buckle down and get stops.
My guess is this week in practice, you guys have been talking about offensive rebounds. Buff surrendered, by the way, 30 offensive rebounds, 17 to ASU, 13 to Arizona. That had to be a point of emphasis.
Definitely, like I said, we met together today as a staff and going over practice planning, and defensive and offensive rebounding, top of the list. Offensive execution follows. So, again, we're going to go in here and kind of recalibrate what we're doing, make sure that we're going to be a lot more physical and go pursue these rebounds and keep these other teams off the offensive glass.
Well, good luck this week against the Washington schools.
Appreciate it.
Anthony Coleman, assistant coach for the CU men's basketball team, as they're ready to take on the Cougars and then the Huskies of Washington over the weekend. Coming up next, we're talking CU women's basketball. Jalen Sherrod, point guard for the Buffaloes, joins us next.